So I did want to start this by saying that both of these games are being ran at ultra settings, completely maxed out 4K. I do have a combination of mods for the Phantom Pain to get this to look its best. I'm using a frame rate unlocker mod as well as a free camera mod because the game doesn't have a built-in photo mode. So we're going to be using a combination of the free camera mod as well as editing my video here a little bit to kind of get a good glimpse of the character model, his textures, the detail, his face, everything like that. So as you can see here, we're going to focus on his face, the details there, going around. Now we're going to look at his body here, the textures. There's really nothing that moves on his body physically except for the gun, and the gun is clipping through the canteen there. But you can get a good view of the texture quality on his suit, how everything kind of looks low poly, and then you got the details on his face, his hair, everything. Also kind of get a glimpse of the shadows and the textures there. So we're going to be moving on here to the animations. So we're going to take a look at the animations here. You got the melee, a little bit of walking around. This is going from the standing to the crouch position, going from standing to prone. You can see his satchel's clipping to the ground there. I do like the running animation. It's iconic. It gives a real sense of speed. Kind of some of the over-the-shoulder aiming here, first person. We'll view the gun model here. Now we're going to take a look at some of the texture work and the shadows. You can see the ground looks really low resolution and the plants are two-dimensional. The shadow work is very low quality. It doesn't even match his character model. The head doesn't. See the rock there. Very low resolution. So with this, I just wanted to focus on the NPCs, the enemies, and their detail, their gun, their uniform, the texture quality, the animations, things like that. Get a good look at that. I wanted to focus a little more on the shadow work here and the textures on the ground. And do keep in mind this is on ultra, so this is the best it could look here. So now we're going to move on to Delta. On to Delta here, let's focus on the character model. Look at the plant actually moves when you interact with it. His hair moves around, all his gear on his body has physical properties to it. So here we're going to focus on the character model itself, the detail. But you can see the scar in his chin there, in his eyes, and the facial hair. It's quite staggering the amount of detail that they put into the character models in this game. Look at his gear, just the high quality texture work going on here. Like look at his boot, the leather detail there. Just everything about his model, his gloves. His earpiece actually moves too, that cord. It physically moves around just like all his gear on his body will physically move. Look at the detail on the knife. You can actually read the text there, tactical knife. So here's a little more of the model itself. His facial expressions will actually change depending on what he's doing. In this particular scene, he's peeking around the corner, so he's got kind of a curious look on his face. It's kind of cool how it adjusts to the what your actions are. See the blood on him. I was in combat a little earlier. So we're going to look at the NPC detail here, the enemies. Look at the eyes and the facial expression and the wood grain and just the gun itself. You can read all the lettering and the numbers on. There's actually a serial number that you can read on every weapon. And just look at the texture work going on here. It's staggering, dude. His facial expression, the way he's gripping that gun there, it's just so like he actually looks like he's holding a gun. His fingers aren't clipping through or nothing. So there's a little more of the NPC detail. You could see the lettering on the iron sight there. He's in the middle of a CQC takedown right here. Look at his knife, how it's actually resting on his neck. Everything physically interacts with them as it should. You can see this is the animation. Right in the chin. So here we're going to look at some texture work and the shadows going on. It's very high quality, very, very impressive stuff. It makes the environment feel very dense and detailed. So here we're going to look at some animations. You got two forms of walking. You got the slow walk and the standard walk. Uh, One area where Phantom Pain is better is I do like the sprint. There is no sprint in this game. I like the transition from just the overall animations are way smoother looking in this game. And look at his body, how the leaves are stuck to his body from laying on the ground. A little bit of the gun model there. I love all the physical properties of his gear moving around. Very smooth. So there it is. I just wanted to do a quick comparison between the two games. They are 10 years apart. So obviously you'd expect Delta to look better. It's 10 years newer. But really I just made this because a lot of people online, I read a lot of comments about people saying, why did they abandon the Fox engine? It was so good. Like, why did they go with Unreal Engine 5? And when it comes to visual fidelity and quality and the presentation, Unreal 5 is just drastically better, as it should be. It's a newer engine. Of course, it's going to look better. And I know some people are going to say, well, Phantom Pain is a fairly open world game, Delta's a linear remake. We know that Unreal 5 can be used in open world environments. Look at Oblivion Remaster, for example. So that really shouldn't be a factor in visual fidelity. And really, I'm just making this to show that going with Unreal Engine 5 was a good move because Metal Gear is a very cinematic style game where you want the presentation to be of a high caliber, and Unreal 5 is going to deliver that far better than the Fox engine was able to do. So really, that's why I made this clip, and hopefully you enjoyed.